Three-dimensional problems in quantum mechanics. Today we will discuss about rigid rotor. Rigid rotor. In many cases, the molecular rotation spectra of molecules can be described successfully with the assumption that they rotate as rigid rotors. In these cases, the energy can be modeled in a manner parallel to the classical description of rotational kinetic energy of a rigid object. We already know that rotational kinetic energy equal to half I omega square. From these description, the structural information of the molecule can be obtained, like bond length and angles. The most straightforward examples are diatomic molecules. So a rigid rotor is a mechanical model of rotating systems. In the case of a three-dimensional, a top is an example of a rigid rotor. The linear rigid rotor model consists of two point masses located at fixed distance from their center of mass. You can see in the figure that M1 and F2 are separated by distance r, which is rotating in an axis perpendicular to the plane and passing through the center of mass. We have already learned the hydrogen atom. In the case of an hydrogen atom, the distance between the two particles can vary. But in the case of diatomic molecule, where the bond length was fixed and the rigid rotor model was used. In the case of rigid rotor, the total energy is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. The potential energy can be equal to zero because the distance between the particle does not change within the rigid rotor approximation. But in reality, V is not equal to zero because the average distance between the particle does not change, but still the particle vibrates. Energy calculations in quantum mechanics involve the solution of the Schrödinger equation with a properly formulated Hamiltonian. So, consider the rotation of a rigid rotor about an axis passing through the center of mass and perpendicular to the plane containing the two masses. So, it is convenient to discuss rotation within a spherical polar coordinate system rather than the Cartesian system. We know time-independent Schrödinger equation is used to find the energy levels of the rigid rotor. In the case of three-dimensional rotation of a rigid molecule, it is necessary to formulate the Hamiltonian in three dimensions. So it is approximate to formulate it in spherical polar coordinates. You can see the Hamiltonian is written in three-dimensional spherical polar coordinate. It consists of kinetic energy and potential energy, which is equal to total energy. For free rotation, the potential V of r is equal to 0. As r is fixed, the wave function only depends on the angles theta and phi. So the Schrödinger equation reduces to this, where I is the moment of inertia, which is equal to 2 mu r square, where mu is the reduced mass of the system. In this case, to solve the Schrödinger equation for the rigid rotor, we use variable separable form. We already learned this method while solving the Schrödinger equation in the case of an hydrogen atom. Only two variables, theta and phi, are equal in the rigid rotor model. We already know that the bond length r is taken to be the constant. So psi depends only on theta and phi. So to begin the process of separating the variables taken in, multiply each side of the equation by 2i by h cut square and minus sine square theta by theta and phi, and the equation reduces to this one. Here we introduce a parameter lambda which is equal to 2IE by h cut square. On rearranging, the equation reduces to this one. You can see that the both sides of the equations have independent parameters. The LHS of the equation contains only theta and the RHS of the equation contains only phi. That is, now this is in variable separable form. So the both sides of the equation should be equated to a same constant. On rearranging, d square phi by d phi square is equal to minus m square phi. Here m square is the constant. You can see that, and before the variable separable form, the Hamiltonian in three-dimensional spherical polar coordinate can be written in the form of partial derivative. But after the variable separable, now the partial derivative is replaced by complete derivative, where m is inserted as an arbitrary separation constant and later it is replaced by mj, that is the z component of the angular momentum. So the theta part of the equation should also be equated to the same constant m square. The theta part of the equation, when compared to the general equation of associate Legendre polynomial, we can see that 2IE by h cut square is equal to j into j plus 1. From this equation, we can find the energy associated with the rigid rotor, which is equal to h cut square by 2I j into j plus 1, where j is called rotation quantum number. Here we introduce another constant called b, which is called rotational constant, which is equal to h cut square by 2I. Since 2j plus n values of mj are possible for a given value of j, that means each state is 2j plus 1 fold degenerate. Mj can have values from minus j to plus j. And j can have values 0, 1, 2, etc. For example, when j is equal to 1, mj can have values from minus 1, 0 and 1. From the figure, we can see that the energy transition between j is equal to 0 and j is equal to 1. So the first line in the spectrum appears at a frequency of 2b. The second transition, j is equal to 1 to j is equal to 2. So the second line appears at a 4b. The spacing between two consecutive energy lines is always be 2b. On solving, the wave function associated with these allowed solutions are phi is equal to 1 by root of 2 pi e raised to I m phi, and theta is equal to 2j plus 1 into j minus m factorial divided by 2 into j plus m factorial whole raised to 1 by 2 pjm cos theta, where pjm cos theta is associate Legendre function. So the rotational wave functions are functions called the spherical harmonics. That is, which is the product of associate Legendre function and e raised to I mj phi function. Here are some problems associated with rigid rotor. Please go through.